This video will show you how to add evidence to your presentation. So your evidence is all going to be coming from your source notes, and so most of the hard work for doing this has already been done. Your source notes were on paper. They were in a packet that looked like this, so you'll want to locate those. And the part that we are especially interested in using today are the sticky notes. So you had sticky notes that 6 sticky notes somewhere in this packet, 2 of each of the 3 colors that you used in your color code for highlighting the information. And these sticky notes will have one part that says "it says" and another part that says "I say." Okay. So once you have located those things, you should have everything that you need to begin, except for the using informational text as evidence handout. Now, that was a dark blue handout that you got in class, but it is also linked here on this slide if you don't have it with you while you are working right now. So what you are going to do is you're going to go to your slides and you want to find your first main idea slide. And in the speaker notes below that slide, you're going to make a space for evidence A and evidence B. Now, you're going to go to your source notes and you're going to figure out what was my first color that I highlighted things for my first subtopic, and you're going to find the sticky notes that are that color. In my case, it was pink. The sample I have to show you is purple because I didn't scan all of mine, but in my case, it was pink anyway. So you want to find these. And you want to start off your evidence by first figuring out if the source that sticky note is stuck to, from which that information came, has an author. If that source does indeed have an author, then you are going to want to type one of these lead-ins over here on the left-hand side of the handout into next to evidence A. So you're going to want to use one of those lead-ins. And if it does not have an author, then you are going to want to use one of the lead-ins on the right-hand side. And let me just show you how you can tell. I'm using this snapping packet as an example. There's a table at the beginning of the source, and if there's an author there, then it has an author. And if there's not an author there, it has no author. You use the title. So again, if there is an author, then you're going to be using these lead-ins on the left-hand side. And if there's not an author, you're going to use lead-ins on the right-hand side. In the case of my source in particular, there is not an author for this source, and so I am going to have to use one of these on the right-hand side that uses the title. So I will show you what that looks like. So I went ahead and I typed the article "Impact of Technology on Kids States That." So I used this type of a lead-in. So you just want to start off by typing that. And then you're going to follow that with whatever you wrote after "it says." That was the information that you paraphrased from what you highlighted in your source. So I'm going to go ahead and type that information in right after the lead-in that I just typed. Okay, so now I've typed in what I paraphrased, and now I can find the second sticky note of that color. And I'm just going to do the same thing that I did before. And with my example it is coming from a different source, and this source has an author. So I'm going to use one of the lead-ins with an author. I'm going to see if I can change this at all so that you can see. Okay, well, I can say according to the author, right? That's probably the simplest one to go with. So I'm going to go with that, and I'm going to replace the word author with my author's name, which happens to be there are actually two authors, Aaron and David Walsh. Okay, so now that I have my lead in, again, I'm just going to do the same thing. I'm going to type in what I paraphrased. Okay, so now you can see that I have in my evidence B. So this is what you do for the evidence in each slide. You're just typing the "it says" from your sticky notes on your source notes in after you add a lead in that helps to cite the source. And once you have added that to all three of your main point slides, two pieces of evidence each, you have completed this step.